So since the game against Brighton at the weekend, there has been a lot of talk about this. I have given my thoughts on the Discord server, but at the time I didn't really feel that it warranted a video. However, I've seen other people talking about it, and I think in some places there is a bit of a misunderstanding. So basically I want to address this Manchester United shape, because there is clearly two main problems. Problem one, it looks incredibly imbalanced. You know, a lot of players on the left hand side and none really on the right. And then also the profiles of player. Marcus Rashford, someone who wants to be going in behind, is deep on the left. And Amad Diallo, someone who wants to come towards the ball, is high on the right. So there is clearly a problem. The question is, why and how have we got here? So first of all, the discussion is why the imbalance? Why do we see so many players on one side of the pitch as opposed to the other side? Well, to be honest, I think that is fairly simple. Manchester United are a team, particularly in the Brighton game, that like to move the ball forward pretty quickly. A lot of transitions, artificial transitions, and quick build-up patterns. There was not a lot of the game where United centre-backs were spending ages with time on the ball in the middle of the pitch. It wasn't really that sort of match. This was a lot of quick football. And when it comes to playing quick football, we know how United like to play. United like to draw the ball onto one side of the pitch, drawing the opposition with them, and then play through. So for example, we might move the ball to the left-hand side. The aim is to draw the opposition over to this side of the pitch, meaning that if we can escape this sort of situation here, we can move the ball to the other side, and then we have got room to get forward and capitalise on the space that we have created. And we know that this is a plan for Erik ten Hag because we saw it in pre-season. Now, you can't always gauge too much from pre-season, but what you can get a sense of is the ideas and the principles that the manager is trying to put in place. And we saw it in this game against Arsenal. Manchester United drawing Arsenal players to one side to try and create space on the other side. So here Marcus Rashford plays the ball back. Harry Amas is going to do actually some really nice work and a little bit of tight space down his left hand side, but eventually move the ball inside the pitch. So we have moved the ball left, drawn Arsenal onto us, and now what we are gradually going to try and do is combine in these areas. Like I said, it's very much like a small training drill. We're combining in quick succession here with the aim eventually of moving the ball towards the other side, moving the ball infield. Now once we have done that, the aim is pretty clear. Shape up and get the ball moving towards the far side where we have created the space. So this is why Manchester United have that initial imbalance. It's not really too much of a problem. It is okay to have a lot of players on one side of the pitch and then shift over to the other. That is absolutely fine. It is quite a good attacking pattern. So in terms of the lack of balance, it appearing as though we've got a lot of players on one side rather than the other isn't actually too much of a problem. It is okay for United to have more players on one side. Now we need to address that second issue though, the profiling of the players, because having Marcus Rashford deep on the left and Amad high on the right doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense as to why you would do that, because it doesn't suit their games. However, it does seem pretty logical when you break it down. So to start the discussion, the first thing you need to do is actually just look through the Manchester United starting 11 that played that last game. Starting off with the centre-backs. You are Andre Onana in goal. You've got the ball at your feet and you've got the option. You can play towards the right-hand side to Harry Maguire, who might come under some pressure. Or you could play the ball to the left-hand side towards Lisandro Martinez, who could once again come under pressure. If you are Onana in goal in that situation, who are you going to pass to? It's pretty obvious. You're going to pass to Lisandro Martinez because he is the better player on the ball. He's better at manipulating the ball. He's better in tight spaces. And this was quite apparent in the game. Yes, Lisandro Martinez did play about 10-11 minutes more than Maguire at the weekend, but he had a lot more touches. So instantly, Manchester United have chosen a direction to play in. We have chosen to play towards the left-hand side. So this is the first decision that we have made. What you now have to look at, though, is the players that Lisandro Martinez is working with. Licha himself is, of course, brilliant on the ball, and a lot of the players around him are also. However, if we look at the next three players close by, Dalot, Kobbie Mainoo, Marcus Rashford, they all have one thing in common, and that is the fact that they are all right-footed. Now again, that is not a crime. It is fine to have right-footed players on the left side of the pitch. However, when they are all right-footed, it can leave us looking a little bit one-dimensional at times. For example, if you have a left-footed left-back, that pass is always there to curl a ball down the line, outside of the opposition. The arch of the pass is extremely important here. When you play right-footed and you try and play a similar pass, the ball has to come infield first, which means it's more likely to be cut out. So by not having that left-footed player at left-back, we can't just hook that ball round the corner into this channel. We've got the same problem as such with Kobbie Mainoo in midfield as well. If Dalot passes into him, Kobbie can't naturally get the ball onto his left foot and just chuck the ball into this channel for Marcus Rashford to run in behind. So the problem we have created here is, because our players are naturally right-footed, they want to play in a certain way. Now, of course, we should acknowledge the fact that these are professional footballers. Of course, they can play with their left foot as well. However, it is all about instinct and what comes natural to them, and it is to play on their right foot, which means we are unlikely to chuck balls in behind down the left-hand side. And of course, that has an impact. Let's say you're Marcus Rashford. You're a player that loves to play on the shoulder of the last man, attack the space in behind, and make those out-to-in runs to really hurt the opposition. Suddenly you play in a team of right-footers that can't play that ball, but you still want to be involved in the game. So naturally you start coming a little bit closer towards the ball. You start dropping a little bit deeper, because the left-footed passers aren't there to play you in behind. So the way for you to get the ball is actually to offer support, make it easier for your teammates who are playing at a slight disadvantage because they are right-footed. So Marcus Rashford has now come towards the ball. Now we have a lot of players in close proximity. Now again, that's not a massive problem because Manchester United do like to operate in these rondo situations. However, because they are all right-footed, again, if we are talking about passing archers, passing angles, pass trajectory, however you want to word it, they are all going to naturally want to move the ball across the pitch, this way. If you're Kobbie Mainoo and you get the ball here, and you are standing like this, facing the play with time, if you are left-footed, naturally you are more likely to go this way, whereas if you are right-footed, you are more likely to go this way, across the pitch, infield. Let's take Marcus Rashford. If you are left-footed, you might start a little bit wider, or you might take your first touch aggressive and spin in behind. Whereas if you are right-footed, you are more likely to take a backwards touch, and then once you have done that, you're on your right foot, again, you're going to play inside. And then we've got Diogo Dalot as well, who doesn't want to shape up onto his left and play down the line. Instead, he wants to come inside onto his right. Now, this can work for Manchester United. We saw it in the Brighton game and highlighted it at the weekend. A small-sided game in one side of the pitch where we have drawn Brighton towards us, as they are looking to apply pressure to the ball. Now, we're going to move the ball down this side of the pitch. We're going to see a lot of right-footed passers in this little sequence here. But we're moving the ball and trying to manipulate Brighton in this situation. Then we've got Lisandro Martinez, a player who we have said already is excellent in tight spaces. Again, going back to the first point, would you want Maguire doing this? Probably not. But with Lisandro Martinez, it's fine, you feel comfortable. Another reason you play down the left-hand side. But eventually, the plan for United is to move the ball down this side of the pitch before eventually moving in-field. Now, Bruno does play the ball on the left on this occasion, but you can see Rashford, he is not spinning in behind because he knows that ball isn't coming. He is coming towards the ball, he is coming towards feet. And that means the pass for him is going to be on his right foot, in-field in some fashion. It goes to Casemiro, who plays the ball into Mason Mount. Now, Mason Mount is going to get the ball out of his feet with a touch across the pitch before playing the ball towards the far side, and Manchester United can quickly attack and get themselves into a really dangerous position. So this system that Manchester United are using can absolutely work. However, it cannot be your only attacking point. You have to have tactical versatility. Every time you get the ball down the left-hand side, if you want to move inside, it's going to become very easy to defend because naturally you are moving into a crowded area. We know the centre of the pitch is always more compact from the opposition. So Manchester United are at risk of becoming incredibly predictable. If we naturally always go to the left because we have Lisandro Martinez and then all of these players come short and want to come inside, United are going to become predictable. We need some changes. We need the ability also to play to the right-hand side and manipulate the ball this way before moving across the pitch. But also, we have to be able to stay on the same side of the pitch. So when we're on the left, we can come inside sometimes, but we have to be able to play down the line and offer that threat outside of the pitch. And the same on the right-hand side as well. We can come inside and play, that's fine. But we also need to be able to go down the outside. Because ultimately, the more unpredictable you are as a team, the more tactically versatile you are as a team, the more difficult you are to defend against. So this is where Manchester United need to try and get to. The question is, can they do it? The answer is actually yes, Manchester United can do it and actually probably already have a lot of the solutions within the squad. For example, if you bring De Ligt into the side for Harry Maguire, instantly you have a player that is more comfortable on the ball in deeper phases. So when Onana has the ball, he's got a bit more of a choice to make. He can play both ways. He can go to his left-hand side or he can go to his right-hand side. Another change you can make is Ugarte coming into midfield when he officially signs for the club. Now, the reason he can help us in these areas is simply because he is a retention-based midfielder. Casemiro is someone who moves the ball forward incredibly quickly. Ugarte takes an extra touch and is more comfortable playing under pressure, playing with his back to goal. Granted, not necessarily press resistant, but just a little bit under pressure. So that could help United as well. And then the other big solution is Luke Shaw coming back into the side. We saw how well United were playing out in pre-season at times with Harry Amas down the left, being left-footed. It gave us extra angles. We could play outside of the pitch. At the moment, we don't have it. The second Luke Shaw returns, we will gain it again. And that's where Manchester United now have a big decision to make over the next few days. Do you trust Luke Shaw's fitness? A left-footed left-back is absolutely crucial to this Manchester United side to bring balance and unpredictability to the way that we play. Shaw has an injury record. He has an injury history. He's always injured. We need to guarantee that we can play a left-footed left-back this season. If United don't trust Shaw, we need to go and sign one before the end of the transfer window. If not, it's going to be a little bit sticky at times. So that's basically my thoughts on this kind of build-up issue for Manchester United at the moment. I understand why we are doing everything that we are doing. It all actually makes sense. It's because of the profile of players that we have and their instincts on the ball. We need to try and change that by putting some different players into the team. Let's see if Ten Hag is going to do it. I think he probably will, and I think we will see improvement. Those are my thoughts though. Let me know yours in the comments down below, and also check out the Discord server, which will be linked in the description. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.